If you're a criminal, you'll be deported. If you plan to enter the U.S. illegally, your chances of getting caught and sent back just went up. The actions I'm taking are not only lawful, they're the kinds of actions taken by every single Republican president and every single Democratic president for the past half century.
Well said, Mr. Obama. Well said. Couldn't agree with you more. I know this topic's been covered too many times by people, but that's what's in the news right now. So we're gonna cover that again. Plus, it's gonna be happening again. We're gonna be getting more of these. So just wanted to cover it a little bit more, just to kind of keep everybody in the loop, because I know this is something that it's what's going on right now. It's what there is to talk about. There's other stuff, but we're going to be getting more of it coming up here in the next day or two. So that's what we're going to be talking about. This is going to be fun. Stay tuned. Yeah, so this is 50 years in the makings, and we finally got somebody that's actually willing to do something about it. You know, it's been all talk for 5 decades plus. I mean, that was back when Obama was there. It's probably been at least another decade since he said it. So we're looking at 6 decades, 60 plus years that this has been in the process, and we finally got somebody in there that's actually willing to do what you said there, Obama. And as you all know, these protests have been going on in Los Angeles. Of course, you know, everybody's heard about it. Everybody's been watching it. But California seems to think that it's all Trump's fault, that Trump's the one that made this all happen, and it's all peaceful. And I've got some clips. We're gonna go over a few clips, but California seems to think that these are all peaceful, and this is kind of what some of their news is talking about. So we're going to play that, and then we'll be right back.
The reality is we see peaceful protests launching in Los Angeles.
Peaceful protests, people that are there to...
Just a bunch of people having fun watching cars burning.
These are not criminals. They're looking for work.
Of protesters and demonstrators are peaceful. They're passionate. But the peaceful protesters, we want to keep them safe. We want them to exercise their fundamental rights.
I get the fuck out of LA.
Yeah, and Gavin Newsom, he's been taking a lot of heat over this, and he's been kind of really, you know, they've been threatening to arrest him and all that, and he's kind of like getting really offended when people are trying to hold him accountable, and instead of holding himself accountable for this, he's just trying to act all tough and big man, and try to talk a big game and blame it on he's trying to blame it all on Donald Trump. And we'll go to an interview. I'm sure you've all seen it, but the interview of him online, we'll go back and we'll replay that, and then we'll come back and discuss it.
10 years, the fear, the horror. The hell is this guy? Come after me, arrest me. Let's just get it over with. Tough guy. You know, I don't give a damn. But I care about my community. I care about this community. The hell are they doing? These guys need to grow up. They need to stop. And we need to push back. And I'm sorry to be so clear, but that kind of bloviating is exhausting. So, Tom, arrest me. Let's go.
Yeah, big tough guy. Come on, tough guy. Come arrest me. Yeah, arrest him. And we think we know why that could be, because I think he's trying to get a mugshot, get arrested a mugshot, because that mugshot of Trump just elevated his game, and now he wants to try and compete with Trump, because we're pretty sure he's trying to put in for a bid for president in 2028, and right now he's just going at Trump, and right now that's all they have to go by. That's all the Dems have to go by is going by Trump, is who can hate Trump the most. And right now he's leader of that pack, because he's most public about it anyway. So I think he's just trying to put on a little show. And I mean, really, they should really be thanking him technically. But there's other, I mean, and it's across the board. No Democrat leader has even come out at all to own up and to take accountability and to call these rioters out on their stuff. But another quick clip. We'll show it real quick and then be right back.
Any leading Democrat reached out to you quietly to say, here's what's going on? Anybody?
Not a one. Not a one. And I think
would you expect that? I don't know whether
I would expect that, and I'll tell you this. I think that any Democrat who does not call these out and does not say that this is completely unacceptable has to own the fact that their rhetoric is causing these actions.
I feel for the people of Los Angeles. It's a wonderful city. There are wonderful people there. I'm sure he doesn't see it this way, but Governor Newsom really owes a debt of gratitude to President Trump, because I think Governor Newsom dug up more snakes here than he could kill. He's got a city that is in large part out of control, and thank God the president and the federal government sent in troops.
Yeah, so you're responsible for it, Gavin Newsom. This is all you. This isn't Trump's fault. Trump came in to try and help. You should be thanking him, really. And you should be thanking ICE and these guys. These guys are actually making your city safer with some of these people that have come out. We've got Tom Homan just coming right out and telling us, and we've got the press secretary coming right out and telling us there's been hundreds of people that we've deported that have been criminals, like violent criminals that have been catch and release by the previous. They come in and they're drug traffickers, they're human traffickers, they're rapists, they're murderers, and the previous administration just catch them and release them back into the wild. And now somebody actually comes in and does something about it. Now you're getting all pissed off that somebody's actually coming in and taking care of these people. You should actually be happy, because your city, once everything clears up and you actually get things handled in your city, it will actually be safer, because there will be a lot less of those kind of people in your town. But anyway, let's see what they've been clearing out here. Got a couple clips. We'll play those back to back, and then we'll come right back.
Bad people off the street that day. We arrested a sexual predator, arrested gang members, arrested somebody that had an armed robbery conviction. So we made LA safer. The men and women at ICE, the men and women at the Border Patrol made LA safer that day. But you're not hearing any of this. All you hear is a rhetoric about ICE being racist, about ICE being Nazis and terrorists, and Governor Newsom feeds that. Just like Hakeem Jeffrey feeds it, that he's going to unmask ICE agents. And the members of Congress who keep feeding this rhetoric, they're the ones that are causing this riot, because they don't listen to the truth about what the men and women at ICE are doing. We're keeping our promise to American people to make these streets safe again. And that's exactly what we're going to do, and we're not going to stop doing it.
And I have updates for you on the numbers, by the way. Since June 6th, there have been 330 illegal aliens that have been arrested as part of these riots in Los Angeles. 113 of those illegal aliens had prior criminal convictions. And overall, and this includes arrests of American citizens, there's been 157 people arrested for assault and obstruction-related charges, including the attempted murder of a police officer with a Molotov cocktail. So who is funding these illegal aliens who are coming in with this very professional riot gear? It's a question everyone in this room who cares about truth should be asking. And we encourage your help in trying to get to the bottom of that question.
Yeah, so they're getting out these violent criminals, and they've deported a bunch, and most of them have been criminals with previous charges. And some of the ones that they've arrested on site there have been obstruction, and they haven't been just arresting just innocent people. The one they got for throwing a Molotov cocktail at a police officer, yeah, he's going to be, that's a pretty serious offense. And the other thing is, who's been funding all of these riot gear that they've been handing out? So this is all orchestrated. It's all planned by the Democrats. They've been wanting to do this they've been planning it for a while, and they've been planning it for Saturday, but with these ICE raids, they've decided to start on some of them a little early. But anyway, and if you haven't seen the numbers since, I don't know when these numbers came out, but since recently, the Democrats' approval ratings have gone quite down quite a bit. So we're gonna take a quick look at this. This is coming straight from CNN. The leader of the truth, the only truth delivering radio or TV station out there. So if it's coming from them, you've got to believe it. So, but anyway, quick clip from CNN about how awesome the Democrats are doing, of how great their approval rating is. So we'll be right back.
Holy Toledo. Voters' views of the Democrats in Congress among all voters disapprove 68%. And look at the approved number, just 21%, even lower than the Democratic Party at large. This is the lowest on record for Democrats, according to Quinnipiac University polling. You think these numbers are bad? Let's go to this side of the screen. We'll look how Democratic voters feel. Get this. The plurality of Democratic voters disapprove of Democrats in Congress at 49%, and just 40% approve. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Oh my goodness gracious, you just can't get worse than these numbers.
Well, you heard it from CNN. You heard it right out of the truth spreaders' mouths. The lowest they've ever been, the lowest ever recorded, 21% approval. And that's across the board from all voters, even Democrat voters. 40%, that's not very good. I mean, you're even losing your own. I mean, but there's a little clip of how Trump thinks about how the Democrats are doing. We're going to watch that one real quick. This one's funny.
Democrats are fighting it only because they want to fight. They have Trump derangement syndrome. If it was somebody else, they wouldn't fight. If you had a normal person, if you had some stiff sitting behind you, they'd be fine. But they have Trump derangement syndrome. Senator Schumer's become a Palestinian. He's welcome. I don't know when they're going to give him the ceremony, whatever the ceremony may be. But it's terrible what's happened to the Democrats.
Chuck Schumer, you're a Palestinian. When are they going to crown you or whatever they do? That's funny. That's awesome. But now, since we're on this topic of it's going to be coming to other towns near you, it's coming to wherever you're at. I don't care where you live, at least as long as you're in America, it's going to be coming to a town near you. And this is what couple of Republican-run states. Let's see how they are going to handle this situation. We're going to talk. We're going to see what Texas is up to.
Joining me now is Governor Greg Abbott of Texas. Governor, great to see you here today. You saw what happened in L.A. There are promises of more protests this weekend as part of what they're calling the NoKings protest. So are you expecting that this will be needed this weekend or in the coming days in Texas?
So, well, what we do know is that there are going to be protests across the entire state of Texas, and the state of Texas is very large. What we hope will occur is what occurred earlier this week, and that is there were protests without any property being damaged or anybody being hurt. And people are free to protest if they don't harm anything. However, because of the possibility, because the size of the crowds could grow large, because things could get out of control, we want to make sure that we have the assets in place where we're going to be able to quickly respond. It does not do any good to have the National Guard not deployed and have a city catch on fire, have crime and chaos break out, and take a day or two to get them there. We will have 5,000 National Guard pre-positioned to make sure that we will be able to respond immediately if crime or chaos or lawlessness does break out.
So yeah, California, they got all mad at Trump for bringing in 2,000 National Guardsmen after it got violent, or after it started to get violent. Maybe it wasn't totally violent at the moment, but Governor Abbott, he's already has over 5,000 already ready to go, ready to be strategically played. They're doing it before the thing even starts. They're planning for it. Yeah, he's hoping they peacefully protest. He's encouraging them to protest and let their voices be heard, but he's already bringing out the National Guard to help keep it peaceful. And he's willing to make arrests if it does get out of hand. So, but one of the bigger ones is Florida. There's a few going on in Florida, and this is one where it's, yeah, you probably don't want to do anything. You probably don't want to be too involved in it in Florida. I would just call it off in Florida because, like, seriously. Let's see. I've got a few clips. I'll just play them straight back to back, and then we'll finish them up because there's a few of them, and they're. So we're just gonna play them all and then go from there.
Gonna fly in Florida. This is not Los Angeles. This is the free state of Florida. The minute you cross into attacking law enforcement, any type of rioting, any type of vandalism, looting, just be prepared to have the law come down on you. And we will make an example of you. You can guarantee it.
This is a peaceful protest. This is a riot. We can tell the difference. The governor can tell the difference. Let me show you something. This is a peaceful protest. This is looting. If you loot, the next thing you can try to steal is something off of your food tray at the county jail, because you're going to jail. That's a guarantee. But I've also watched across this country when law enforcement officers who put their life on the line were told to stand down. Allow them to burn the precinct. Allow them to rob and loot.
Florida making national headlines with a new law that the governor signed today. Now, it promises jail time for being part of a violent riot.
So it increases the charge for battery on a police officer. It also allows people to sue local governments over personal or property damage, increases penalties for protesters who block roadways or deface public monuments.
Yes, it is blatantly racist.
Ben Frazier of the Northside Coalition of Florida leads peaceful protest and says the law is racist because it only came about after the riot scene in other states after the death of George Floyd.
It's designed to frighten people from going out to the protest to begin with.
This is what we enjoy in Florida. We're a special place. And there are millions and millions of people who like to come here. And quite frankly, we like to have them here. So we only want to share one thing as you move in hundreds a day. Welcome to Florida. But don't register to vote and vote the stupid way you did up north. You'll get what they got.
If you riot, if you loot, if you engage in mob violence, you are going to be held accountable in the state of Florida. We are not going to sit by and let people take pot shots at the men and women of law enforcement. You come from a foreign country illegally into our country. You burn the American flag in protest of them trying to send you back to the country whose flag you're waving. They're looting Foot Locker, the Apple Store, all this stuff, burning cars, doing all this. That would never fly in the state of Florida, not for 1 minute. You'd end up in the slammer very quickly. And what? Some of these streets are just shut down because you have all these people that are complaining. That's wrong. And so in Florida, the streets, do not even try to shut down the streets.
Yeah, Florida, they're not messing around. They're taking this seriously, and they've made laws from before that, from the last time, and that, yeah, they're not taking it. They're taking it seriously. They will make examples out of you, and they'll make examples out of you fast. And that wasn't all. There was one more from Florida that I wanted to kind of show you, and this is like one that, yeah, you should take Florida seriously. I would almost say, just stay home. You probably should just stay home anyway. Not that you can't, but you can protest. You can go out there all you want, but if you're doing it in Florida, I would suggest you keep it peaceful, because they're, like I said, they're not messing around. And I feel that same way as Sheriff Grady. I love that guy. He's awesome, but I always think that because I live close-ish to Florida, California, and a lot of Californians come to move into my state, and I always say, you can come, please just leave California there. Okay, don't vote. Don't bring your, don't, because otherwise you're just going to turn us into California. And there's a reason why you're leaving California. It's just like, it's a reason why you're leaving your country. It's a reason why there's reasons why you leave. So why would you be burning our flag and waving the flag of the country that you're from, but yet you don't want to go there? It's like you hate America, but you don't want to leave. You hate your country, or you love your country, but you don't want to go back. It makes no sense. I'm going to play this one more clip, and we're going to be right back. This one will get you. If you haven't seen this one, yeah, and you live in Florida, I'd pay attention.
I'm gonna break it down for you, all right? And if somebody wants to know what I mean by turn violent, all right, this is what I mean. If you resist lawful orders, you're going to jail. Let me be very clear about that. If you block an intersection or a roadway in Brevard County, you are going to jail. If you flee arrest, you're going to go to jail tired, because we are going to run you down and put you in jail. If you try to mob rule a car in Brevard County, gathering around it, refusing to let the driver leave, in our county, you're most likely going to get run over and dragged across the street. If you spit on us, you're going to the hospital and in jail. If you hit one of us, you're going to the hospital and jail, and most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs that we have here. If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead. We're not going to play. This has got to stop. You're watching what's taking place out there. You're seeing police officers that are being attacked, being spit on, being put in harm's way just for doing their jobs. You're seeing ICE agents that are being targeted for doing their jobs. And you're seeing obstructionists that are doing all of this, standing in the way of law and order.
So there you have it. If you're in Florida, and I'm sure that goes with most red states. I live in a pretty red state, and it doesn't get too out of hand. It may a little, but it doesn't really get too bad. But just keep it peaceful. Just keep it peaceful. You keep it peaceful, we'll keep it peaceful. But anyway, that's basically it. Just stay peaceful. That's all. And stay protected. The world's getting crazy, as you can see. It's not going to get any better. This is definitely it's definitely highly orchestrated and highly funded. They're passing out riot gear. They've been planning this for few months anyway. I'm sure they've been planning it since November 5th. You know, once Trump won the election, I'm sure they've been planning this attack, and I don't see it getting any better. I mean, it might slow down through the cold wintry months, but I don't really see it getting any better. So it's vital we keep ourselves protected. We protect ourselves, protect our home, protect our families. Keep something on you, firearm preferably. But if you legally can't carry one, then whatever's the most lethal tool you can carry legally, and have situational awareness. You never know what could happen. It could just break out for whatever reason, like it did in LA. It was kind of just all of a sudden happened, and things are happening. I mean, things are getting worse, and it's not going to get any better for a while. So just keep your head on a swivel, stay alert, stay aware, and just stay out of the big cities. Just stay out of it. I mean, we could definitely use some boots on the ground footage just to see how it's going, but be safe. If you're worried about it, just stay away. I mean, it's, for the most part, it stays in a few blocks of an area of the city. It doesn't really usually disperse out into smaller cities, but you never know. It could. They've got a lot of, if you look at their map on NoKings.org, they've maps pretty much covered. They've got hundreds and hundreds of cities that they're supposedly going to. So just be careful out there. Stay armed, stay protected, and stay aware. And we'll catch you in the next one.